All right, let's talk about something that's making waves. Not in the usual internet drama way, but in a way that hits deep for anyone who loves Japan, anime, or just cares about what happens when a country starts to lose itself. We're talking about Megumi Hayashibara, the living legend, the voice of Rei Ayanami from Evangelion, Lena Inverse from Slayers, Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, and so many more. If you've watched anime, she's almost definitely whispered, shouted, or sung directly into your soul at some point. So, Megumi went and did the unthinkable. She voiced an opinion. Yeah, you heard me right. She posted on her blog about her worries for Japan. And it wasn't just, oh, the kids these days type stuff. She was honest, real, and honestly a bit heartbroken about what she sees as the slow erosion of Japanese culture. Manners, social norms, even the way disaster aid is distributed. She's concerned that Japan's becoming more indifferent. And she asks a pretty wild question. Shouldn't Japan prioritize, Japan? But because this is 2024 and reality is a clown show, even gently raising these concerns was enough for her to get scolded, edited, and basically forced into apologizing for hurting feelings. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's dive right in. I'm going to read you her post, interjecting here and there so you don't get blog fatigue, because this is a moment where you need to hear the words directly. Here we go. Megumi's blog, as she edited it. Is this really okay? I've started to become seriously worried. Content modified below. First off, imagine being so worried about backlash that you have to say modified content below like a YouTube demonetization warning. She's basically prepping everyone. Hey, I cut out the spicy bits, so please don't roast me. Continuing, when I featured a Korean YouTuber, a Korean friend contacted me. They said, right now in Korea, there's a division between the political right and left. If you appear to support the right, the left will be upset. If you seem to support the left, the right will be upset. You're just adding fuel to an unnecessary fire. I was scolded. The fact is, as an outsider, people may be hurt by me casually bringing up these things. It's late now, and I may just be pouring more fuel on the fire. But if anyone was hurt, I'm sorry. I removed that part. I can't reach the people already hurt, but I don't want anyone else to be. This tiny piece of writing probably won't get the message across. But what I wanted to express is how sad it is that Japan has become so indifferent to itself. Even raising your voice is met with coldness. I just want to pause and say, wow. Isn't it wild that even Japan's most legendary voices feel like they're walking on eggshells? This isn't just a Japan thing either. Anywhere you look saying, hey, maybe we should take care of our own people and culture, gets you dogpiled online. You see it in Japan, you see it in the US, you see it in Europe. It's like self-preservation is the new taboo. Let's keep going. There's no rice? In Japan? Foreign exchange students are receiving free aid, while Japanese students are stuck with scholarships they have to repay, which, let's be honest, means debt. It's the twisted reality created by negligence. We can't leave it to others. We have to go vote properly. We've reached the point where saying it won't change or it doesn't matter just doesn't cut it anymore. If we keep going like this, Japan's Japanness, our manners, behavior, skills, and maybe even our freedom of expression in anime, might disappear. Okay, I need to talk about that freedom of expression in anime, might disappear line. Because, wow, does that hit home for so many of us? You ever notice how, when some anime or game gets localized in the West, the dialogue suddenly sounds like a Twitter thread or someone's trying to sneak in their favorite political buzzwords? Take the 100 line, Last Defense Academy, for example. The original Japanese script didn't say anything about cracking your egg, which is a very specific term in Western gender discourse, or canceling people. But guess what? The Western release snuck those in. Or how about the second season of Tiger and Bunny? Suddenly, out of nowhere, a character claims he might be a feminist.
It's an outdated gender norm, but I still feel like I need to protect you. I was raised better. I think I might be a feminist.
Not in the Japanese script, folks. It's like a game of telephone, except the person in the middle just rewrites the story. And then there's the OG, Yuji Horii, creator of Dragon Quest, literally saying he hated having to censor his games for the US market.
もね、男女選べるんだけど、男女選ぶって書いていけないのね。タイプ1、タイプ2なのね。
ねえ。
のこれ男女誰が一体文句言うんだろうと思うんだよね。
そうそうそうそう
ね。わからないね。
Like, come on. If the creators themselves are sick of their work being twisted, what does that say about giving foreigners control over your stories? Megumi's not being dramatic. She's right to be worried. If Japan stops defending its culture, those unique touches that make anime and games so magical are just going to get sanded down into something bland and safe for everyone. Yawn. Back to Megumi. And in the middle of all this, we've got people staying in private rentals without manners, tourists who don't know the meaning of yielding, and people carving up Kyoto's bamboo. If we don't put proper rules in place, then we need to enforce the same rules on everyone, foreigners included. That's not xenophobia. That's just common sense. If you're a guest in someone's house, you follow the house rules. Somehow that's controversial now. She continues, some harsh expressions have been removed. I use certain examples that ended up hurting uninvolved people. I've learned from this. Thank you for pointing it out. For example, if we don't maintain the unspoken rule of lining up, we'll end up in a world where following rules just makes you lose out. I'm not denying any specific country, but shouldn't Japan's tax money go first and foremost to those who pay taxes? Including foreign residents who pay them, of course. And to Japan's disaster-hit regions, and to the students who are currently supporting the future of Japan? Is that really xenophobia? If Japan itself becomes worn down, we won't even be able to offer hospitality anymore. Sure, secret political money is worse and a bigger issue, but regardless. For those with the right to vote, from 18 years old, I just want them to rethink what that right means. Political statements really are difficult, aren't they? Can we just pause for a second and appreciate the amount of apologizing Megumi felt she needed to do? It's almost poetic in a sad way. The very act of worrying about your own home gets you slapped with the xenophobic label. We've seen this kind of thing before, too. Remember that time a bunch of artists had to apologize for drawing fan art that supposedly made anime characters look too white? Even though all they did was play with lighting? Twitter went full meltdown mode. Artists shouldn't have to give "I'm sorry for drawing the sun on this character's face" press conferences. And it's not just artists. Digimon fans, if you remember DigiFest 2021, they did a stage play, just a simple Digimon script reading, that touched on political correctness and cancel culture. Real topics. Nothing that's actually offensive unless you're just looking to get offended. What happened? The event got attacked because, heaven forbid, someone says cancel culture exists. It's not enough to toe the line. You have to stay silent and pretend the line doesn't even exist. Now, about that crayfish analogy Megumi cut. Here's what it means, and honestly, it's way too good to leave out. I'll read you the full breakdown, thanks to a helpful Twitter user. About Megumi Hayashibara's, invasive species of crayfish thing. Why she compared to crayfish? Well, there are 3 species of crayfish in Japan. Japanese crayfish, the only Japanese native species, pushed out of their habitat by invasive crayfish species and now endangered. They have a gentle nature and don't actively hunt, instead eat fallen leaves, insect fish carcasses, which help purify waterways. They grow slowly and are difficult to breed. Signal crayfish, an invasive species from North America, designated as a specified invasive species, which is harmful to ecosystems, human life, or agriculture. Large in size with strong reproductive capabilities, they carry diseases that Japanese crayfish have no resistance to. American crayfish, also a designated invasive species. They not only prey on native fish species, but also cut down aquatic plants, destroys waterside environment. See what she was getting at? When something unique, delicate, and important to an ecosystem gets bulldozed by something bigger and more aggressive, you don't just lose a species, you lose everything that made that place special. That's not about hating outsiders. It's about protecting what's irreplaceable. And that really is the heart of it. Megumi Hayashibara wasn't lashing out at anyone. She was just calling out a reality that so many are too scared to mention. If a culture can't defend its own boundaries, customs, or even its own storytellers, then what's left except a hollow shell? When even the gentlest critique needs to be sanded down and issued with apologies, you know something's wrong. If we keep letting not offending anyone be the law of the land, then soon there won't be anything left worth offending over. Maybe next time someone asks why so much anime feels the same, or why Japan seems less unique, we'll have to tell them. Sorry, the crayfish got to it first. Thanks for watching, and remember, preserving what's special isn't selfish. It's survival.